Hey everyone. I always tell a really good joke right before we start recording, so we always start laughing.
Yeah, we come in with the giggles because Katie's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, it sounds like you really mean it. Welcome to
I did mean
Haters.
that.
I'm Katie.
And I'm Tawny.
Now, Tani, do you want to recap for the listeners the end of Trader season 4? That's a joke.
A,
I know it's been
a
a
woman was
long
tricked by
time.
a man,
Yes.
and the man
Yes.
chose money. But
Yes.
in a twist of fate, woman got a bag because we don't all get that lucky.
No. So let the Rob glazing continue.
But there is a crossover into what we're going to jump in and talk about today because
Mm.
we really have no choice but to talk about West and Amanda of Summer House. We're
What's their
we're chained to it.
crossover? Is it just that?
Oh, because Two Judgy Girls does their like man madness in March. So it came
Oh.
down to West Wilson and Rob Roush. And I do think Rob ended up winning, but it was
Oh,
close. And can you
good. Good.
imagine? Yeah. The
No, and
timing is just
yeah, when
impeccable.
you voted for West, you showed me,
I
and I was
did.
like,
I
why?
did.
And you were like, well, he defended Amanda to Kyle because Kyle was just being a dick out of nowhere. Like all the recaps, and by that I mean Watch What Crappens, and then probably those two bitches said the same thing, which is that he freaked out because no one was paying attention to him and he just like went and yelled like fuck you at Amanda.
Yeah. It was painfully obvious that Kyle just really wanted people to pay attention to him. And it was pretty cringy. And then he took that out on his wife.
Yeah.
I mean, you factor in a lot of alcohol, but still, like, it was not a good look. So, just based off of when that took place, watching that episode, and then it being West versus Rob. And this is so funny because I almost made a video about that for West because I'm like, the bar is on the floor. Like when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to men, it's so low. But in that specific episode where West stands up for Amanda and he confronts Kyle, we see Jesse and Ben do nothing and say nothing. And in his little interview, Ben almost blames Amanda and she's like, well, he does pick, like she does pick at him a lot.
Yeah.
So even though the bar's on the floor, I felt like for West to actually address the situation
Yeah.
is a lot more than most men would do. And maybe that's just my personal experience, but I come from a place where a lot of men do not hold their friends accountable. And even if you are mutual friends and they tell you in private that they don't agree with what their guy friend did, it's super rare that they will actually bring that to their face and be like, what you did was uncool. So,
Well, I don't think they're doing it much on this show really either. So like even in real life, but also when was the last time a man on this show got mad at another man on behalf of a woman?
right. I mean, we have, and both times are very like alcohol fueled and maybe ego fueled. Because the two times that I can think of where Craig loses his shit on Luke in Winter House because Luke was not getting that. I can't remember her name, but there was a newer girl, and Luke wasn't getting that she wasn't interested in him, and he was
Uh-huh.
getting too close to her, and Craig like freaked the fuck out. And I do think Craig did the right thing in like calling out her being uncomfortable, but it definitely went to 100, and it probably didn't have to. And
Uh-huh.
then the other situation I can think of was also Luke. Kyle and Luke fought in a season of Summer House. I think it was the one where Luke and Hannah were like really going at it. And it's crazy because there's like a clip of Kyle and he's like, you love controlling females. And I'm like, the fact that he ends it with females is like blows up the whole argument.
Because he
Like,
loves controlling everyone.
Well, no, because it's like just using the word female. So it's like funny to me
Oh,
that you're in a fight where you're trying to position yourself as like the one standing up for the women, and then you're
yeah.
like, females.
Yeah.
It's like,
Which female can be a noun, but it's not scientifically, it's used as like an adjective. So when people
yeah,
say female as a noun, it's like,
we're women.
yeah.
Because nobody ever says males,
No.
you know,
No.
except for Erica Kirk when she says it's really hard to be a young white male man. But nobody else ever says male. And men have like, they have guys, right? So there's like that, people will say like guys instead of boys if you don't want to say men.
Yeah.
But women and girls doesn't really have an in between. Like, what do you say, ladies? Like, that doesn't fucking work.
Well, yeah, it seems like people only say that when they're talking to a group of women. Ladies, ladies,
Ladies.
can we calm down, ladies?
I was going to say, when they're trying to
Yeah,
tell us to shut the fuck up, they start with
exactly.
ladies.
Yeah, they wouldn't say, hey, you females, just because it doesn't roll
No,
off the tongue, you
it
know?
doesn't sound good. They know it sounds bad.
Yeah, it sounds unnatural.
It does sound a lot. And it sound, I don't know. There's just something about females that like, ugh, it hits me the wrong way.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Well,
But
so anyways,
anyway, so,
we loved West for standing up to Kyle, and then,
and then all hell broke loose.
yeah,
So we've been seeing little droppings on the internet of,
poops.
yeah, little poop droppings, Wes and Amanda pooplings,
They've just been pooping
that
all over the place.
just taking giant dumps, taking
Uh-huh.
online bullshits. Um, and it's been like hinted at that there might be something weird going on. And then a bomb was dropped this week when a podcast shared a DM they received about someone spotting the DM said that the person was spotted west through Amanda's apartment. But what we have come to learn is that what actually happened is that Amanda was spotted in West's apartment. But either way, the person who did the spotting was sitting across the way from a high-rise apartment, saw them through the window.
Yeah,
You and
was
I,
peeping Tom into a
yeah,
window. And I
yeah,
don't know what neighborhood they live
peeping
in.
Tammy, because it was a female.
Yeah. It's just to be able to make an identification. Like you can peep across places, but to be able to identify the people, that's some next level shit, if you ask me.
So you and I, so that whole day, the internet was a buzz because people are like, "This is crazy," and you and I made fun of it
Yeah.
because even though we have found out that all of this is true, I still think it's fucking funny that someone did this, that someone like was watching through a window,
Mm-hmm.
and that it was allegedly at some point in the story a random fan, and that this random fan had reached out to Sierra, and that Sierra met, like, I'm sorry, even with it being true, and then like this podcast releasing this DM and it being like it all going down the way that it did was funny. So my skepticism was never about like, oh, Amanda would never, or I can't believe people could do something like this. It was simply about this is fucking funny. And also, I really, really was like willing this to not be true because I did not want another show ruined. Like, I just,
Because if West and Amanda are hooking up, does that ruin this show? That's what I keep being like. I think we thought Scandoval was gonna like help the show, and it
mm.
mostly did because when they picked the cameras back up, we had to see that. But then the next season, it was pretty much ruined. So,
The thing that's interesting here is that Amanda, Kyle, and Lindsay are already, I believe they may have already filmed for In the City. So
right.
they've already gotten a spinoff. So I think they were being phased out of Summer House anyway. And I think the show was kind of being given to West, Jesse, Sierra. That's going to be interesting now. I'm very
Okay.
curious to see if West stays
Yeah.
the messy like reality TV star, like reality TV lover in me wants him to stay. But I also want Sierra to stay. But when I say those things, like I don't mean that I think that would be positive experience for them or for their development. I don't think that would be a good situation for Sierra. I say that as like a reality TV watcher. I would love to
Yeah,
see the
we love
dynamics.
mess.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I see people being like offended. Because I even said last week, like before this all came out, I said ABC would be very smart if they grabbed Sierra as the Bachelor, like when all the Taylor Frankie Paul stuff
The
happened.
Bachelorette. The
And
Bachelorette.
the Bachelorette. Thank you. Yeah.
Because
And
you
like I
can
don't
put
mean
her
that.
on The Bachelor as a but
No,
she
I
would
would
be
I
the
no.
main. Yeah.
She would be
Okay.
the Bachelorette. But even so, when I say that, I don't mean because I think that that is a genuine smart way for Sierra to find a love connection. I
Yeah.
just mean that if she would like to expose herself to a different audience and new opportunities, then yeah, I think that would be really smart. And it would also be really smart of ABC,
Hmm.
especially after what just happened. And
Plus, she
they'd be
seems
smart to
relative. I mean,
cast a black woman anyway.
yeah, and she's relatively unproblematic. I mean,
Yeah,
the
there's no
biggest
weird shit in
problem,
her
no.
closet. I don't, like,
Yeah, the biggest problem with her is she's a little too prude, And ABC, I think, loves
which
that.
Bachelorette wouldn't even, yeah, I was going to say
Yeah.
Bachelorette wouldn't treat that as, that would be less of an issue on a show like Bachelorette than in a share house that's supposed to be about people fucking.
Yeah, it would be like up her alley. Plus, my big gripe with Sierra is okay, the time, like the season when they broke up, I mean, we didn't really find out until the reunion where they could hash it out. So that point in time when they had broken up, I felt really bad for Sierra, mostly because during that season I watched her not have sex with West for so long because she seemed to think that that was going to help this relationship last or something. And she seemed to be like holding on to it with all her might, and then seeing it not work out was
Like it
like
was the
sad.
key to
Yeah.
unlocking the commitment. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Uh-huh.
then it showed me that like being a slut, if it's the right guy, is fine. Like obviously making him wait a certain amount of time didn't make him need her, or whatever they try to teach us women sometimes. And so I felt really bad for that. Then when they came back the next summer and she was still mad at him, I understood. But like by now, I think, I don't know, what's it been? 3 years since they dated?
This would be the third summer. We're coming up on the third summer since they dated because he joined the show in 23. So that's
Yeah.
when they dated, fizzled out the end of 23. And then when
Yeah.
they came
So,
back in
okay, two and a
2024,
half
she
if
was
we're,
like kind
yeah.
of keeping him at an arm's length, but willing to be civil. And now
Yeah.
what we're seeing play out this season is summer 2025. And it does a little bit seem like West is trying to reignite something, or he at
Right.
least is making it known that he's still attracted to her. And this is where I think it gets super sticky. And I posted about this last week from last week's episode because the girls are sitting around and Mia's like, I think that West is in love with you. And I'm like, no, he
Yeah.
is
I wish no one would
not.
say that. Please don't
Because
say
here's
that
the
to her.
thing, like, West is completely capable of having sex without feelings. He can have sex with a bunch of people, not get his feelings hurt, bounce around, and he's good. And that's his
Yeah.
prerogative.
Yeah.
Sierra, on the other hand, is much more reserved. She's been open about that. She's conservative with her body, she's conservative with her feelings. Neither of them are wrong, but both of those choices are fine, but they don't really mesh together because I think what we're seeing happen on this summer is West is like, Sierra's cool as shit. She's hot as shit. We're in a house together. We're drinking. We should be having sex. We've had sex before. It's fun. But I think any move he makes towards that, which he thinks is cool, Sierra is
She
like, oh,
interprets.
yeah, he's
Yeah.
interested in me. And he wouldn't circle back and do anything with me if he hadn't changed his mind about
Right.
commitment. But
Which
that's
is
not
what I
true
would
because
think
men are
too.
fucking
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I've been there. I've done it.
Yeah.
But I will say, on the other hand, and we with like flipping back to when they met and when they were dating, um, we have to, as women, take some personal responsibility in the boundaries that we attempt to set, because she was saying like, I'm not going to sleep with him until we're in a relationship, but she did. And then I'm not going to meet his parents until we're in a relationship, but she
Well,
did.
but
And
those
I
things
know he
happened
was,
off camera, so I don't know when,
yes.
what did they never got into a relationship? That's what I
So
thought we weren't sure
she,
of.
no, so she said, I rewatched the reunion today where they talk about like their breakup. And what she says is that when cameras went down, they had gone horseback riding. And she said to West, because Andy says to Sierra, what if West had come to you and said, I think you're beautiful. I think you're amazing. I really love our chemistry, but I'm not in a place to commit. Can we just keep going with what we are? How would you have done with that? And Sierra's response is, I gave him an out. And I said, you know, things are about to blow up. The DMs are about to start coming in. If you want to explore that and see what else you have going on, you should go do that. And we should end this. No hard feelings. But to me, those are not the same thing. Like, you wanting commitment from a man and saying to him, like, you're either with me and you're with nobody else and we're moving forward, or I'm out. But saying to him, like, if you want to go answer your DMs and see what else is out there, you should be done with me now. Like, I just feel like those are very different things. And that's not me putting the onus on Sierra, because I know that West manipulated and misled her. But I'm also saying that, like, as women, we have to kind of take some of that back and be more intentional with the boundary setting. Like, we can't expect. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, is that making sense?
Yeah,
Because then, like, so
what
then she
I'm
went on
thinking
to
is,
sleep with him after the
mm,
fact. So after that happened, she slept with him, and then she met his parents, and then they went to a wedding. But they were never titled boyfriend and girlfriend. But do you need a title to be in a relationship? I mean, these are people who were in their late 20s. So there's so much nuance,
to me
because
it just
I'm
sounds like
never.
one person said, and that's Sierra, hey, if you don't want to be in this, then go, you know, because you're going to get a lot of attention from girls.
Yeah.
And it seems like you're saying that's not clearly a statement of like, I would like to be in a serious relationship with you. So if you don't want to move towards that, then let's break up, which would be more intentional, I'd think.
Well, I
This
mean,
is
let's
almost
break up.
like,
They weren't in a relationship. So that's what I'm saying.
well,
She's saying that
let's
at
stop
that moment,
hanging out so much.
right, right, but she didn't. So when he said like, no, like, I don't want to, he didn't say like, no, I don't want to, we're in a relationship.
Given that you're intentional,
Right.
if he had said to you at some time during the summer, I think you are incredibly beautiful, we have an incredible vibe, I want to do fun things with you, I want to hang out, but I can't commit.
Yeah.
You would have done what?
I gave him an out after horseback riding. When cameras went down after horseback riding, we got back in the car and I said, if you feel like, you know, you want to cut ties, because like the show's going to air, you know, it could be a lot of attention and whatnot. If you feel like you still want to go and do all of that, or if you feel like, you know, you need to just do you for now, you should. Like, no hard feelings. Like, we can, you know, end it here. And he said no. And so, okay, I'm going off of that. And so I just feel like I gave you an out. You then invited me to Missouri. Okay, we do that. We then go to your brother's house. We go to a wedding. It's like you still do all of these things, but then yet you tell my friends, like, when they ask what happened, you're like, oh, like, I just wanted to cut it before it got messier. Like, at what point did you think, you know, that wasn't messy?
You feel led on.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're
Yeah.
committed to each other. No, I'm not interested in any other women. No, I'm not interested in DMs. He just said like, no, I don't want to end this.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying that either of them were wrong. I think they both understood what they thought they understood. Yes, I
Yeah.
thought they understood what they thought they understood at the time.
Well, also,
and
I
I've
think
been there.
if you phrase it in a way that's like, to me, she's phrasing it in a fishing for compliments kind of way, which is like, if you want to break up, let's break up. And I know I'm saying break up when they're not together, whatever.
Right.
I'm just saying she's phrasing it in a way that's like, it's very easy to be like, no, that's not what I want, you know? It's not.
Because we all want a guy to like
That's true. We know
fall
how to get it.
over himself and be like, I mean, let's be so for real. And I'm not blaming her, but what she wanted in that moment was West to be like, DMs, who cares about DMs? I don't need fame. I don't need other women. I have
Yeah.
you. You know what I mean? Like maybe
Yeah.
not to that dramatics, but like that's what she wanted. And she does deserve that. But that's not what she got. And then to move into the next summer, she kind of kept him at an arm's length, which fair. Completely agree with. And then this summer that we're watching now, though, it's a little tough because there's a moment where he says to her, like, I just don't know how to act around you. I don't know how to talk to you. And she's like, good, I designed it that way. And it's great. Like, I love to see her strength and stuff in these moments. But at the same time, the minute that he flirts with her, she crumbles. She's a wreck and she like doesn't know what to do with her feelings. And it's like, I think that this is something that we as women do to ourselves when we try to have it both ways. And we watched Paige do this in the beginning of her relationship with Craig. It's like, there is a medium between being like someone who doesn't take any shit and stands up for themselves and also being vulnerable. And I feel like women, we feel like we have to pick one or the other. And so Sierra's kind of presenting to Wes that like, yeah, this is how I feel. I'm over your bullshit. I'm not falling for this again. But in private, she's a little bit falling
Yeah,
for
but if
it
you were
again.
actually over it, you wouldn't say that, you know? I almost feel like she's
Yeah.
giving away that she's not. Like, it's not that he's picking up on it. I don't know what he's thinking. He's just like, my dick is hard.
That part, that's
Yeah.
exactly what he's thinking.
It's
And
just what it says
imagine,
to
like-
us. Yeah.
Imagine having to be in a share house every summer with somebody that you've already had sex with, still kind of like, but aren't dating. Like it is complicated. Like it is.
Yeah.
And I do feel for Sierra because I've been in relationships like that. And sometimes like that shit is harder than like committed relationships because there's so many unknown factors to it.
Oh, I did a
So-
lot of that too. I was like, this is normal. They can't say that they love me, but they do, you know?
Yeah.
When it's like, they'd
Yeah.
say it. They would for sure say it.
Yeah, that's how I felt when they were like, so West is in love with you. I'm like, oh, we need to stop doing this to
Yeah,
our friends.
no.
Like, we need to stop because, like, unless a man is actively saying it and like working towards it, like, we need to stop telling our girlfriends that something is there that isn't. Like, I remember so many times my girlfriends doing this to me or me doing it to them, be like, oh no, but he said XYZ, or
I
he
know.
texted you on that day, or he still bought you a birthday present. So, like, he's still, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
we will find any reason to like not hurt our friends' feelings and to hype them up, but I think sometimes we accidentally do it to their detriment.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, now
Gotta chill.
Amanda and Kyle ended their marriage, or at least said that they were a month ago in January. And
The end
that
of January,
is
yeah.
more than a month ago now. I'm like, it's April 1st.
It's the
It's
same
April
shit.
1st. Okay, anyways.
It was
They-
in quarter one.
Yeah, Q1. We're entering Q2. And great sales so far.
Not for Loverboy.
No. Which
Maybe now though.
I don't know when he's going to throw in the towel with that, but
Oof.
so then I guess there were DMs and rumors on Dumois, but it wasn't something that I became aware of until last week. Were you aware of these rumors of West and
So-
Amanda?
I mean, yes, like I've seen them on Reddit. I have very much I've been a denier. I've been in the camp of like, they're just close friends. And again, that's not because I don't believe people are capable of doing, you know, crazy shit or making mistakes. It's because I just didn't want another show to get ruined. And I really wasn't interested in the discourse that this kind of thing brings online.
Oh, I couldn't believe how
Um,
much it's brought. I didn't think it was going to get this. Like on
Me
Sunday,
either.
we heard they're finally going to announce that they're together. And we were just like kind of waiting all night for that to happen. And then it was like, what?
Psych.
What am I sitting here waiting for? Well, I don't do this.
They had us spiraling so bad like that. People were like, it's an April Fool's joke. And I'm
Yeah.
like, it's not an April Fool's joke. Like, I mean, and I
No.
said to you Sunday or Monday, I was like, where there's smoke, there's usually fire. So this doesn't look good.
Yeah.
But I'm still like, I just don't want to. Like, I don't want to. And here we are. We're doing it.
Well, it's made people
It
so
happened.
mad and have so
It
many
has.
feelings.
And that's what we're here for. Complicated
Yeah.
feelings.
Complicated feelings.
Yeah.
So, why don't you start?
Oh, I have so many. Well, so I think the first thing that started coming out was immediately people were like, when it started being speculated that this might be happening, that Amanda and Wes might be hooking up, dating, whatever. We truly don't even know what the fuck yet, because the
Yeah.
joint statement that they released was just like a word salad. We don't have to read it again. I'm sure everybody has seen it everywhere, but they didn't really answer any questions. They didn't really apologize to anyone. They didn't define anything. They didn't, I
Yeah.
mean, it wasn't great. It was
Yeah,
not
they
good.
were kind of like, oh, oops, we didn't know we were gonna like each other. Here, we've seen the growing online speculation. I didn't have the patience to read this when it came out. I was just like, okay, it looks like they're together. But they don't ever really say it.
They're like, we'll
They're
provide some
just,
clarity, and then they don't for
yeah.
3 paragraphs.
We've shown up for each other as friends over the years, through all the highs and lows, and what's developed recently was the last thing either of us expected. Our connection grew out of a genuine, long-standing friendship, which made it especially important for us to approach this with care. Now, do you think they did that?
See, well, I mean, we don't know the timeline, right? And that's where it gets annoying too, because there are certain people who are now going to watch the season and they're going to be like, Wes and Amanda have been dating since the moment they met. Amanda has always hated Kyle. And then yeah, whatever. You know, we're
Yeah.
never actually going to know. The same is with Tom and Raquel. And by the way, these two things are not the same. This is not Scandoval,
This
but
is not Scandoval.
it's not Scandoval. But just like with Tom and Raquel, like, we're never actually gonna know the truth. The only people who know are Wes and Amanda, and they're not gonna tell the rest of the fucking world, because why would they? Like,
That's what I'm
they
saying.
should.
When
But
celebrities do get together and they go fucking announce it, that's when you need to be suspicious. Because when you start a new relationship, usually you want to be kind of cool. You don't want to freak out the other person. So why would you go announce it to the world, right?
Well, that's what's interesting, right? So here's my theory. Like, so my theory of what took place with Wes and Amanda. So Kyle and Amanda split up, which allegedly happened back in November, but they were
Okay.
lying about it in the public through the holidays. So Amanda started hanging out a lot with Wes and his friends. I think they were just getting drunk. They were getting fucked up. They hooked up. I think it probably happened. They were like, whoa, not a good idea. Shouldn't do that anymore. Too complicated. And then it kept fucking happening. And then I think they either got caught and now they've been forced to reckon with what they got caught doing. Or they got caught and now they've been forced to confront each other with, like, what is this? What are we going to do? And I guess they've decided to bunker down together. But Kyle did an In the Street interview today, and I'm not sure if, by the things he was saying, if West is turning on Amanda or what. So Kyle did an In the Street interview. He got stopped, and he was talking about just Amanda's mental health, and he has talked to Sierra. He's been in touch with her, and he's really worried about Amanda, and just talking about the cyberbullying. And of course, people have a lot to say in response to that. And he's right. I don't think he's talking about the bloggers, and I don't think he's talking about people posting and talking about it. I think they're reasonable to understand that these things are going to happen. I think he's talking about the people who are in her DMs and leaving her comments and talking to her as if they're close friends, as if they have any right to truly weigh in on her personal life. And I don't mean what we're doing right now. I mean to reach out to her.
Can we
and try
watch
to make
it? Because I
contact with
never
her.
watched it.
Yeah, hell yeah, bring it up. It's got 2 parts, I think. And I'll tell you, I just posted about what the most triggering part of it is for me.
Okay. Here we go.
See if you
How
can
are you?
guess what triggered me.
I'm good. I appreciate people checking in. I'm actually really worried about Amanda, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Have you talked to her since, or?
Talked to her. Talked to her like before they put the statement out. She gave me a heads up. And I talked to her last night, and I think I understand people have all sorts of opinions.
Us.
And I'm not justifying any behavior, but like she's kind of getting cyberbullied, and then at the end of the day, like all I know is Wes seems to be the kind of guy playing multiple women at the same time. And I just looked, and somehow in all of this, like 50,000 people have decided that Wes deserves their fallout, and meanwhile they're just lighting up Amanda.
Is she? Yeah.
I just feel bad because like, look, Amanda knows that what she did was wrong, and she's trying to come to terms with it, but she is not well.
Has she? Did you know about this, or how long have you known about this?
I mean, I just basically figured out over the weekend. I mean, obviously, I was trying to give everybody the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of people knew. There's words that Dave Portnoy said he heard back in February. So were you? Is it more upsetting for you that you heard people knew and didn't tell you, or they should have just came forward? And
I think that. Look, I don't know that I don't understand the timeline just yet. You know, it definitely makes me second guess a lot of things last summer. You know, at a minimum, just how checked out she was, and I was, you know, my own unsuccessful ways. I was still trying to put an effort in, and I mean, it's a mental mind fuck for me, just because there's still so much that we're watching, you know, from the summer. I don't know. I'm at a little bit of a loss of words.
No, I get it. How have you talked to Wes? Has he reached out to you?
He sent some half-assed text message. I guess what I'm trying to say is most of our audience, most of our followers are women. Amanda deals with mental health issues. Before cyberbullying her and then giving Wes a follow, maybe think twice.
Yeah.
It's like we're still trying to figure all this out. I'm still trying to figure out the details, but I can imagine Wes is using the same charm that he's used on just about every other chick.
So do you think this is, with the news coming out, you found out about this weekend, pretty much. You put it together. So how did you put it together, or did they come forward and tell you?
I mean, it's just like a series of events that, unfortunately, the evidence just kind of...
Obviously, it's been a tough...
An unfortunate series of events. I know that's right.
You talked to Sierra at all?
Yeah.
And how she,
really
and
touched this whole...
And did she know it, or did she find out this weekend?
He's like, yeah, duh.
I think she had more evidence at her disposal than I did, and I think she was trying to let me come to terms at my own speed.
And his dog just took a shit.
That part, so true. I was like, oh my gosh, like I feel the weight of the world on my shoulders when I'm trying to get that poop bag open when my dog is shitting. So to do that on camera while discussing a fresh trauma, that is well done, Kyle. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 poop bag skills. It's amazing.
You know, it's just a lot to process.
The squats come in.
I don't understand the person who just decides, oh, you know, the guy that's playing multiple women on TV and off deserves a follow right now.
Yeah.
That just blows my mind. He's gained 50,000 followers in the last 24 hours. Who are those 50,000 people? It just blows my mind.
You know, I remember saying, Watch What Happens. You're like, people might feel more for
get that poop.
Sierra than for me. I mean, what do you think the fans... Do you feel like are people reaching out to you in support of you? Because it is a lot to handle. I mean, this is real life.
Yeah. I mean, look, I appreciate the people that are reaching out, and obviously it's a lot for me to process.
The dogs are upset, which is valid.
Reese, come on. I mean, listen, it's going to make me look at my summer through a different lens, for sure. I'm not trying to excuse any of my behavior.
Yeah.
I think what I was just teeter-tottering, constantly on the edge of insanity, because I did feel neglected. I did feel purposely excluded, and then I was made to look crazy, and I think that.
Do you feel like Bravo producers sort of knew something was going on? Because the way the editing of this season, it feels like it keeps showing West sort of hinting at it.
That's just how he is, man. Like, I was talking to the producers right up until last weekend, and I don't think there was
Do you think
Bravo PR and producers, I don't think, believed anything until this past week.
Well, do you think Andy knew something? Because on Watch What Happens, he was pressing a little bit about this whole rumor. I thought he was.
I think Wes gave a horrible word salad of an answer that was vague.
Yeah.
And Andy's like, he kind of gave him that opportunity to clear it up. Like, but you didn't, but you aren't hooking up.
Yeah.
I forget what he said. Yeah, look, like I obviously haven't really commented on anything. I know you. So
Yeah. I appreciate
that.
that.
It's just a lot to take in.
I get
it. It's not just me, Amanda, Wes here. It's like our whole friend group. I mean, Carl's a mess. It really does put into jeopardy what the show's about, because like you can't shoot Summer House if the vibes are off.
Yeah. Would you go in?
We're not actors.
Are you going to go back on Summer House? Because there was a rumor. We talked to Sierra.
Yeah. Oh,
Well-
I will say the interview he's talking about with Wes was a Watch What Happens. I almost said Watch What Crappens. Was a Watch What Happens live episode. And Andy asks Wes about the rumors about him and Amanda hooking up. And he gives kind of a long-winded answer where he's like, she's newly single.
Yeah.
Weird that you say that first.
We still want to ask, hypothetically, would you ship West and Amanda? West, what was your reaction to the rumors of you and Amanda?
She's single now, and it's happened already to other people that she's hung out with. But
you were just hanging out.
Yeah, we were just hanging out in New York. She's single. I kind of gotta show her the streets a little bit, But if it's not clear, that's a very important person to me, and I care about her a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is your homegirl.
Right. Okay. As opposed to your romantic girl.
Correct.
Yes.
That's what the streets want to know.
Yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
no. That's a friend.
Yeah.
And I have to show her around the streets of New York. So, and that to me, out of all the things, like the pictures through the binoculars and all the other things, like that to me was like a little bit of a tip off. Like the PDA, the affection between friend groups and that kind of stuff does not tip me off. I come from a very slutty, incestuous friend group. But the way he couldn't answer, I was like, ooh, that's not good. That's not good. And now we know why.
So then I think we did see some report that this other girl said she was like exclusively dating West. Well, that's what she thought. And now she's like unfollowed or blocked him. And so then Kyle's referencing that, like, well, what about all these other girls that we've seen him with? And then, yeah.
We don't know about too much about Wes before he was on Summer House, but we've now met two women who said he's a great guy, terrible guy to date. Dara, and there was another friend of his that said the same shit. So prior to Sierra, like, and this is not me exonerating Wes' behavior. I'm just saying, like, Wes is a fuckboy. Wes started off as a fuckboy. He's not doing anything different, and he's likely not going to do anything different with Amanda.
Right.
Unfortunately for Amanda, she's freshly out of her divorce, and she's never really had any self-esteem. And now she's all wrapped up in this shit. She probably sees it through rosy-ass glasses, and it's not that. It's not going to be that. And even if they can make it that, it's gonna be icky. It's tainted.
What if she knows though? That's the thing that's interesting, is like if she also doesn't really expect Wes to be her future husband or whatever you want to say, her date for all upcoming holidays,
They're not gonna go steady.
Yeah, then it's like,
yeah,
okay, everyone was just publicly pressuring them to come out and tell us if they were having sex. And so that is what they did. And they didn't say, we love each other and we're always going to be together. It's like what they said seemed, like they don't even know.
Like they truly don't know.
Yeah.
And you know what's fucked up is that on its face, what we have is a house of messy, single people.
Yeah.
Whose feelings got confused and bodies overlapped. Okay. But like, technically, no one did anything wrong. But morally, Amanda had an obligation to Sierra through friendship to not hurt her. Now, is there a
Yeah.
world where Amanda and West fall for each other and Sierra has to suck it up? I wouldn't say it's that simplified, but if Amanda and West truly feel that way and they developed a relationship, then I do think at a certain time Sierra would have to be like, that fucking sucks, but I get it. I do think there's like a world where that
Like
happens.
where they would have approached her and told her in a
But
way
that's-
that wasn't like this.
Right. Where the problem comes in is the lack of communication, the lying, the gaslighting, the misleading, because now you are damaging this friendship on so many levels because you're hiding a relationship, you're lying to your friend, you're, sleeping with your friend's ex. Like there's a lot of different layers to it. Yeah, it's not good.
I feel like hooking up with your friend's ex and then living in New York City, it's really not that big because then all these fucking people recognize you everywhere and are taking pictures and sending them to Dumois. It does feel like, oh, okay, so you guys weren't that afraid of people finding out if you were going to be out in public and being touchy-feely. That's what's weird to me, because then if you're going to do that, then you might as well tell Sierra, because then she can't be mad. And if she is mad, she can go be mad by herself. But now it's like this huge public thing. But if West was like,
it
hey,
look like,
it
makes it look like they were playing in people's faces.
Right. I guess I'm thinking more like maybe Amanda. If Amanda was like, look, this thing happened and we didn't really think about it, but now it's like happening and we wanted you to have a heads up. I think that would have been easier to deal with or, than the way that this happened. And it's like every time you're out in public, you're not thinking, wow, this could really blow up in our faces, And that's what makes me think they're on a lot of substances, because that's what would keep me from thinking about it, maybe.
I mean, the blatantness of it is because they have been out a bunch and they have been touched. And like, that's what made me feel like they're just close friends. And I feel that way because that's how my close friends and I are. So it didn't really tip me off. I was like, I wouldn't have thought anything of it. Do you know what I mean? If these rumors wouldn't have popped up, I genuinely wouldn't have thought anything of it. Now, where it gets really sticky and fucked up is allegedly West and Sierra may have been hooking up as well in the past few months. This is where it gets really gross on Amanda's part. And West sucks. Like, this fucking sucks. I was pretty neutral on West. I feel like people came way too hard for him after the Sierra thing. I didn't necessarily think that he deserved as much as he got. But now who cares? And of course there are some good qualities about him, but we know, I will say every episode, like, don't have to convince me to fucking hate a man. Let's do it. And this shit that happened is just, it's not cool, because for a reality show, A+, love the mess. But when I take myself outside of that and I remember that this is a real friend group, these are real people, these are real relationships, this shit sucks, because the pain of a friendship breakup is really, like, it's really hard to put into words. And I do think that for women, it is something, that men can't even understand. Like, when you lose a really good girlfriend, and the one thing that we have watched is Sierra be a really, really good friend to Amanda. She really has been. I mean, there's no debating that. I think that Amanda has reciprocated that in good measure, but I know there's people who would debate that. And again, I don't know what their relationship is off screen. And Amanda's kind of cold. Like, they're not, neither of them are like warm and fuzzy,
No.
So, yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny. It's like, if you look at this season that's airing right now and how Amanda's just she's checked out on the Kyle relationship. I'm really sick of you going out and DJing and getting drunk all the time. And she is a long way away from when she would cry because he wasn't home.
Right.
Yeah,
she's out of this.
She does
she's done
not
with this marriage.
care. Yeah.
She's done.
But it's almost like she's just palling around with Sierra and West, and she's like, maybe the three of us are all besties, but then it's like
being a throuple. Maybe she
Yeah.
was hoping Jesse and Sierra would hook up and then the four of them could just double date. Maybe that
Yeah,
would be the
cuz
simpler life in Amanda's mind.
yeah, cuz if you start palling around with these friends and it starts like that, but then you're like, "Oh, I kind of want to have sex with the one that's a man," but it's like I don't know, now it's like so much time has passed. It is like you should have told Sierra. You probably should have just told her.
Oh, they definitely should have told Sierra. And I mean, let's face it, they didn't tell Sierra because they knew what
Yeah,
was at stake. They knew how Sierra was going to react,
right.
which rightfully so. I mean, we really don't even know how Sierra reacted. We actually don't know that information yet. We
Yeah, we just saw
unfortunately
that
did
picture
see.
of her on the ground.
Unfortunately, we did see her crying in New York, which I'm sure is just a rite of passage if you live in New York, because I have absolutely cried in the streets of Philadelphia. I'll tell you that.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, but
I've cried on the
so
streets of New York. You just have to do it sometimes.
you have to do it.
Kyle's point about how this made West get 50,000 followers, that's interesting.
This shit's going to turn Kyle into a full-blown feminist. Watch. He's going to be like, wait a minute. Wait a goddamn minute.
Yeah,
A
this
man is being uplifted.
Actually, that's what I was thinking when that fucking DM was being circulated about the person spying into the window. Is I was like, Kyle wrote this, Kyle wrote
That's
that
a theory
DM.
I really wanted to be true. I wanted Kyle to be like, I looked bad this week, so let me just
Yeah.
stir the pot a little. That would be more fun than this. I wish that's what would have happened, because this is draining stuff.
Well, it's just ridiculous for the DM that goes viral, or I don't even know if it did because I'm blocked. But for that to be the one to be like, I was spying into someone's window and I saw people making out and I could tell who they were.
Well, the crazy thing is that I think you posted the new updated information.
Oh, yeah,
we
that
got,
apparently
where
this picture came from a
allegedly-
private investigator.
It came from a private investigator because Sierra Sierra had allegedly seen that Amanda was at West's apartment via Find My Friends, and she texted
Yeah.
Amanda and said, why are you at West's apartment, I guess. And she said it took 15 hours for Amanda to respond, we're just friends. And then Sierra said, just friends or friends who hook up. And apparently it took Amanda over a week to respond, it's more than a hookup, it's serious. And by the time Amanda responded that, all the rest of this shit, it was already hitting the fan and becoming public. So,
Wow.
yeah.
So, who would have hired a private investigator? Sierra?
Allegedly Giggly Squad. Well, that message said that Sierra went to Paige and Hannah and asked them
Oh.
for help figuring out if it was true. And they hired a private investigator, allegedly.
Okay. I couldn't
Who
figure out
knows?
what was going on with that post because there was some kind of audio from Hannah Burner or something. And I was like, what are we referencing?
Yes.
Okay.
That was the intel. Somebody had sent an audio. Hannah Burner's friend sent an audio telling the story, I think.
Okay.
That's what happened, that Hannah and Paige got a private investigator, and that's who actually took the picture. But if that's true, then that means that somebody, because the private investigator didn't send this message out. So did the private investigator, tell a friend who told her? It's so crazy how this kind of stuff happens, right?
Yeah, that seems like a friend of the Giggly Squad told a friend who then was like, I have to
Right.
tell Snarkbait because I can't
Gotta
not.
get this
Yeah.
as a baby snark. I gotta get this out there.
And I gotta say, the funniest thing about that is that no one with firsthand information actually listens to Snarkbait.
I mean, that's why we're on haters. But when I was listening to the Bravo papers, she was reading out the DM and she's like, baby snark here. She's like, I guess that's what their listeners call themselves. And I had to laugh a little bit. I mean, listen, not that anybody's fucking listening to our podcast. All right. We're not sitting
No.
here like we're fucking Alex Cooper. We just have some qualms with them. That's all. We just have some qualms and we like to talk shit. And we can do that here because it's our fucking show.
Had that person said they were using a really big lens, I'm just saying.
I just wanted everybody to be funnier about it,
Oh, me
Because
too. I'm like, this is goddamn
he-
ridiculous.
we're taking ourselves a little too seriously.
Yeah,
You know?
I agree.
And it's like the cast wasn't even taking themselves that seriously. Like Lindsay posting a reaction meme of herself, and then Carl and KJ
Carl.
doing the same thing. Bailey did it and then deleted it and then put it back up. And then like the collateral damage from this. So like think about the friendships lost, because Sierra brought Mia into the house, which Mia's great, and Mia's not going to fuck with Amanda anymore.
Yeah.
West and KJ were the OG friends. West
Oh,
brought
yeah.
KJ into the house. KJ
But
hasn't
here's the
followed
thing.
West.
You had written in the notes about how Carl and Lindsay brought West in because they're friends. And I'm like, no, that's a story that someone made up. Perhaps
Right.
they met at some point and they said you'd be good on the show, but they're not friends.
I think so.
So
Right.
what about KJ? This story seemed more believable because they're from like the same hometown, right? Like that they actually
Right.
are friends.
But who actually knows?
Right.
But either way, KJ has unfollowed West.
Yeah.
So,
Which is
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. And when Kyle says that Carl is a mess, I genuinely think that is about Amanda. I think that Carl is probably devastated that Amanda has done this and would hurt Sierra. I think that it reveals something about Amanda that he never wanted to see, because Lindsay, see, this is so I've never really been into the bed bugs. Do you know what I mean? And when I watch reality TV, they're all characters to me. I don't really follow them online.
Yeah.
Like I want to watch the show, and then I want the show to go away, and then I want it to come back. And that's where I want the excitement to be. Like when the stuff happens in between, do I get sucked into it? Yes. But do I long for the days of knowing nothing? I do.
Also,
I do.
yes.
Yeah. I just want to watch the show, you know?
No, this
but-
show, it always occurs to me that this show is most like The Sims, just because the shots are up at the top of the rooms and you just watch them go from room to room, you know? Like,
it's true.
that's all it is.
It's people moving around. So
Yeah.
I've never been super into the bed bugs. I'm a Lindsay apologist. I know that's not super popular. I just find her very authentic. I really love her. So when the girls always seem to be coming for Lindsay every reunion and they would make up problems with her, I was just like, oh my God, get over it. And I think Carl was always really torn, because I think that he's really loved Amanda, especially through watching the relationship with Kyle. I mean, he officiated their wedding. So Lindsay and Amanda have always had this beef, and I feel like Carl kind of felt split. And when the things with Lindsay went south, it was easy for him to be like, well, Lindsay's obviously the problem. And now he has to face, you know, that Amanda may be some of the things that people have said about her, unfortunately.
Right.
Yeah, and that sucks. That sucks for everybody involved. It always sucks to find out. Like, and it's like Sierra and Amanda, I believe that they were real friends. Like, I'm not really in the camp of like,
Yeah.
Amanda's this diabolical like sociopath who's been planning this for years and years to like undercut Sierra. I don't believe that.
No.
But
I
forget what
think
was
that
even
when
gonna say.
when you're in this reality show sphere, you're actually kind of insulated from real friendships, because we see them be friends on the show. Then when they go out in real life, anyone that wants to be their friend, they have to think, well, do you just want clout? You know? So your real
Right.
friendship is like, just because you so happen to be in this house, they might not actually feel like they have that much stuff in common, but they're like loyal to each other to a point. Now, you know, Amanda is probably having her like Rumspringa of her 30s
fucking
because
quarter
she's
life
just been
crisis.
tied down. Yeah. So she, unfortunately, I think she didn't really think about Sierra first, but also like, would these two people be friends without this show? Maybe not, you know?
I don't know. And she should have thought about Sierra. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to talk
Yeah.
about it flippantly as if we're like, but on the other side, like, I understand how these kind of things happen. And that's
Yeah.
not me saying, like, I think what Amanda and West did was okay, or that, like, Sierra, you know, I'm just saying, like, I get it. I think that relationships are messy. I think that people are messy and complicated. I think that a lot can happen in one night, especially if you add alcohol and drugs. I think that a lot can happen over a summer when you're sharing a small space.
Yeah.
I think people are complicated, and I felt this way even like when the Scandoval happened. Like, I defended Raquel, and not because I thought which anything that she did was all right, but because she's a human and she had just come out of a really abusive relationship and she didn't have any self-esteem and she was like a little wounded, broken bird, like
Mm-hmm.
just how Lisa Vanderpump likes them. And that doesn't mean that I think her behavior was okay. But I understand how she got there. I understand
Mm-hmm.
how when someone comes in and they lift you up and they tell you all these amazing things about you when you were just feeling like the shittiest human on the planet, it can be confusing, and it can be confusing for your brain and for your body. And she wasn't thinking about Sierra at all. And as a friend, I can look at that and I can be like, God, that's so hurtful. And I can't imagine what that feels like for Sierra. It has to just literally feel like a slap in the face.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, as a human, as a complicated woman, I can see Amanda's perspective and be like, I get it. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that I would go into that situation and do the same thing. I'm just saying I get how it could happen.
What do you think would be next for, I think specifically Amanda and Sierra? Like,
I
do
don't
you
think there's any shot.
Really?
Yeah, I don't. Sierra, I
Yeah.
just don't think she's going to revisit this friendship.
Well, it seems like this is going to be perfect for the reunion. That's where, if
hell
I were
yeah.
Sierra, I'd be like, I'm going to let her have it at the reunion.
I'd be making.
But if
well, you know what? But we do have to address that though,
Uh-huh.
because unfortunately, the one thing that we haven't talked about, which can be sticky to talk about, is that Sierra is black and Wes and Amanda are white. So when we
Right.
say like for her to get ready for the reunion so that she can rip into them,
Oh,
I don't think that Sierra gets that same
she actually,
leeway. Right.
yeah.
Can't.
Yeah.
As far as I'm concerned, she can do whatever
Yeah.
she wants. She could throw another glass. Like, I don't have any problem with that. But as a black woman, and I wanted to touch on too, like when I talked about her being more reserved with her body, I want to like acknowledge that it has to be more difficult for a black woman because it's hard to be a woman at all, especially if you're free and sexual. But
Yeah.
especially for a black woman who's on television, like even if she wanted to be more casual and loose with her feelings, it might be difficult for her to get herself there because of the way people will talk about her because she's a black woman. And I
Well,
wanted to say, go ahead.
Yeah. I was just going to say the way that people are ripping Amanda to shreds, like we know they're all going to rip any woman that they can to
Yeah.
shreds. So yeah, I'm sure she thinks about that way more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing, because I've been thinking about this a lot with like the conversations that come up with Sierra and like racial bias and anti-black, like I can only relate to it so much as a white, But the
Yeah.
thing that I was able to put myself in the situation and kind of compare it to is that for all of my dating life, I've been fat. I've been a bigger girl. And I have been in situations where men wanted to sleep with me, wanted to experience me, wanted to enjoy me, but didn't want to date me, didn't want to commit to me. And at the end of the day, I did have to sit there and wonder, like, is it because I'm fat? Is it because they don't think I represent what a girlfriend should look like? I've had friends of men I've hooked up with tell me that, like, oh, he didn't think that like you fit the mold or whatever, what a girlfriend is supposed to be because of your, like, I've literally had it said to me. So that, and then I'm like, I don't, aside from that situation, you'll never really know for sure, right? Like, I can't say
Right.
affirmatively that men have decided not to date me because of my weight, but it's always there. It always exists. And for a black woman, obviously it's very different. Race and like body are not the same, but we can never for sure know. Wes can't even know if he did not commit to Sierra because she is black. And that's why it's an unconscious bias, because
that
there may
he
be parts of
posted-
Wes.
Yeah. I was just going to say that he posted
Yeah.
the same statement as Amanda.
It's
And
yeah,
he never
it's
did
giving
that
very
with
committed.
Sierra, so yeah.
No, instead with Sierra, he went mute on the reunion.
Yeah.
Couldn't get his words together, but he had plenty of words you know, when fucking New York Times or whoever wanted to
Mm-hmm.
interview him and paint him as the new Bravo poster boy. Like, he
Mm-hmm.
knew exactly what to say. But when it came time to sit in front of her and their friends and admit to what he had done, he was a meek, mild little boy,
Oh
you
yeah, and
know?
that got on my nerves a lot
It
too.
was definitely annoying.
Yeah, and I'm like, if he tries to fucking do that again this time, I'm gonna be like, get out.
See, and
Take a stand to some way, just pick
I
something.
feel bad because, again, this is not victim blaming Sierra, because like I've done all the things that she has been doing, but I really thought that she just was not going to give him the time of day, and I was like ready for it. So the fact that the season we're watching, we're kind of seeing her slip back into it, I feel so sad for her. And now, knowing what
Mm-hmm.
we know now, I feel even sadder for her, because
Mm-hmm.
to watch this all back, and like Kyle said, he's going to watch it with new eyes. I'm not sure that I think that West and Amanda have been having sex for like the past year, or that they were together last summer. I think it's possible an emotional affair could have started,
Yeah,
that they were
yeah.
leaning on each other a little too much.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I guess we'll find out.
Mm,
But you'll never know.
yeah, and neither one maybe even admitted it to themselves, but they were maybe happy to see each other every time they
Having
were
those feelings.
in the
Oh,
room
that's what I wanted
together.
to say about the Sierra and Amanda of it all. It's like we've seen their friendship grow, and we've seen them be there for each other. And when something like this falls apart, or something like this happens, it does make you question everything. And like I said, I don't necessarily think that Amanda is some like diabolical mastermind, but if I was in Sierra's shoes,
Yeah.
I would have to
Mm-hmm.
look back over our friendship and be like, wait, what did that mean? What did that mean? What did that mean? You know, like, because the same thing with like getting out of a toxic relationship, you have to be like, what was even real? You know, and it's painful to do that because it's not fair, because each moment is different. But for our brains, you know, in order to kind of make peace with all those feelings, you try to figure out what was real, what wasn't, what parts of it did they
Mm-hmm.
mean, and we can't ever know that information. And
Right.
that sucks, because she's got it in two doses. She's got it on the west side and from her friend,
And the
the
east
west side,
side,
and the east.
which is Amanda. But part of me is like, okay,
Fucking New Jersey girls.
with that new city show, I think the
Yeah.
talk is like, oh, well, now all of that is null and void because now there's this new shit that developed. And I'm like, is there not opportunities to watch that back and look for Easter eggs? I don't know.
And isn't that a great reason for a show? Like, I'm sorry. Like,
That's
did
what
we
it seems like
forget
to
what
me.
reality TV is supposed to be about? Like, people like
Yeah.
Jax Taylor can fucking go. Like, if you want to
Mhm.
put your hands on women and your children are terrified of you, you can get the fuck off my screen. Do I think what Wes and Amanda did was shitty? Yes. Do I think they're the worst people in the world and that they did something that's never been done before? No. Do
No.
I want to watch this unfold on my television? Absolutely. That's what I
Yeah.
tuned in for.
Yeah.
Like, where's the fun? Like, we're
I
like, and then
know.
people, it's so crazy because people will complain, like with the Jax Taylor, or like really bad people get removed from these shows, and they're like, does nobody even want to watch reality TV anymore? And it's like, you'll complain about that, but then when somebody cheats, you're like, off with their head, you know?
Totally. Yeah. And it's like,
And that doesn't.
this is not Tom Sandoval like lying to two people while you're in a relationship. Like
Listen.
this is Amanda not telling the whole truth and West not telling the whole truth.
This is two drunken idiots on coke,
Yeah.
hanging out too late, not being able to keep their hands to themselves, and
Mhm.
getting too loose with it and getting caught. And now they've had to reckon with the mess that they've made. Tom Sandoval was malicious.
Mhm.
He was vicious and purposeful. And
Yeah.
I don't really see, like, people are like, this is the next Scandoval. Like, why do we have to compare things?
I
Like,
don't
why
know.
can't everything be its own individual thing? Because in reality, that's what it is. Everything's its own thing.
I think everyone's just chomping at the bit. Like they're actually revealing more about themselves. You know,
always
this is
do.
Scandoval. And it's like, no, it's not. And if you want it to be, why? What's wrong with you?
Why?
What's wrong with you?
I know.
Yeah.
Like, you guys are rooting for this friendship to fall the fuck apart.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, everybody here in this situation really needs to have a good therapist. And I'm thinking, like, based on what Kyle said, like, with people ripping Amanda apart, she needs a good therapist. With
Oh, hell yeah.
Sierra, thinking back on her relationships and whether they were real, she needs a good therapist. West, I don't know. He doesn't say much. Maybe he
Men
could
don't
say
deserve therapy.
more. Yeah.
They're not utilizing it. They need to
I'm
be
like,
put in a
he
cage.
could get kicked in the face. I don't care.
He does need a roundhouse kick to the face.
Yeah.
Ugh. Yeah, there was something else. Oh, so in the preview for next week, I think we're going to get to the Carl and Kyle blow up.
That was 150 yards further than West has ever hit the ball.
Next time on Summer House.
Sabrina told me that they were talking.
What are you doing next weekend? You want to come to the house?
Yes, only if you hang out with me the whole time.
Amanda was like, oh, you know, he's in love with me.
I was literally singing your praises.
It threw her off, and I didn't know why he kind of said it.
What friends want to be with someone that doesn't listen to them and just has a general sense of, I do whatever the I want. I know how Amanda feels though.
There's no way that he knows you feel this way.
And it looks like to me, based on, we see Carl talking to Jesse about how he feels about the way that Kyle dismisses Amanda. And so it looks like Carl's going to confront Kyle, and he's going to say that the way Kyle treats his marriage is similar to the way Lindsay treated Carl, which is that Amanda continuously tells Kyle how she feels and what she needs from him, and he just keeps doing whatever the fuck he wants. Which I guess is Carl saying that's how he felt in his relationship with Lindsay, that he kept presenting to her, this is what I need, this is how I feel, and Lindsay's gonna fucking Lindsay and do whatever she wants. And that made Kyle resentful of Lindsay, which is fair and valid. And Carl is now seeing that happen, like, in Amanda and Kyle's relationship, and I think he's gonna confront Kyle about that. And they're gonna, like, come to blows, I think, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm here for that.
Fight. Yeah.
Yeah, but also, does it seem like either maybe Carl or Lindsay or both doesn't really know what went wrong there? Maybe
Listen.
Carl does, but Lindsay's just like, I don't care.
You know, there's something to be said for Carl. When I started watching this show, I was in an on again, off again relationship with someone who was very similar to Carl. Like, what was going on in my life was very similar to, like, Carl and the one Workus twin, the one who didn't throw the watermelon. I can never tell them apart because they're twins. So it was very similar. It was very triggering. So Carl's always been one that I've looked at and side-eyed. And then he lost his brother. And I am the sibling of an addict. So watching that was fascinating, you know? And I don't say that to, like, make light of it. It's very interesting. It's interesting to watch people go through something that I've been going through for, you know, more of my life than I wasn't going through it at this fucking point. And when he lost his brother and then he got sober, it's an interesting journey for me because I feel like we're watching Carl have no idea who the fuck he is. And I think that is a testament to how long he was doing drugs. And that is something that I experienced with my little brother when he stopped doing drugs. It was just kind of like, I think that people romanticize sobriety is that you're going to get there, you're going to reach that goal, you're going to get sober, and everything's going to make sense. You're going to have clarity. Your life's going to get easier. You're going to be a better person. You're going to have better relationships. And the truth is, you get sober and the really fucking hard shit starts. Because now you have to learn how to cope with all of those things that you were using drugs or alcohol to suppress. And it is messy and it's sticky and it's painful. And it's interesting to me that Carl has chosen to do it on television. And there are some times where I'm like, Carl, go the fuck somewhere else. Like, why are you on this show? And there are other times where I'm like, somebody somewhere is seeing themselves in Carl and they must be so appreciative to see, you know, like, think a 40-something-year-old man who is freshly sober because it's only been a few years, his engagement fell apart. And here he is in a party house, like going out with his friends, staying out till 3 a.m., staying sober, enjoying himself, like starting a business. I don't know. Like I've never even really been someone who like cared about Carl. Like he's just like another one on the show. Though when he was with Lindsay, I would have fought for him because I'll fight for anything for Lindsay. I'm one of those. But I'm really enjoying watching him, and I didn't expect to. So I hope he beats Kyle's ass too.
Me too.
Just for good measure.
Yeah.
Yeah. More life.
In the mix.
He's in the mix. Like stuff like that. I'm like, oh, Carl. Like I've never seen a non-dad give off so much dad energy. Like I don't even have a dad, but Carl is dad energy. I can tell.
I'm excited for him to be in that relationship with that blonde girl. I'm
Bailey?
excited. Yeah.
I'm excited to kind of watch him do anything.
Yeah.
I really am. I'm like curious to see what comes next. And the awkward tension between him and Lindsay is like delicious. Like it is so uncomfortable that my whole body tenses up, but I also am just like so excited to be a part of it. I'm like so grateful that they've invited me to watch them awkwardly talk to each other. It's the best. And I also think that Lindsay sometimes makes him uncomfortable on purpose.
Yeah.
But that just makes me love her more. Like it's fantastic.
Oh, sometimes I'll forget that they even dated, and then she'll try to talk to him and I'll realize what she's doing,
Because she's always trying to be like aggressively nice because she thinks that's like Lindsay can't be aggressive. Like you can't be nice. Do you know what I mean? Like when Lindsay tries to fake nice, it comes off as like aggressive. And it's so funny. And I don't even think that she's like faking it as in she doesn't want to be nice to him. I just don't think she knows what to do. I don't think either of them know what to do.
Yeah.
And it's fun. I love it.
Well, you have anything else?
Oh, you know what else looks interesting? So in the next episode as well, it looks like Ben's going to bring on his secret girlfriend, Sabrina. And apparently when the girls are alone, Amanda says to Sabrina, like, oh, yeah, Ben's great. He's in love with me.
Oh.
And Sabrina gets like offended by this, of course, and I'm sure takes it to Ben, and Ben confronts Amanda. So unfortunately for Amanda, it looks like she had a very messy summer. And that sucks because there's going to be a lot of rumors spread about her and a lot of tweaks made to the timeline that may or may not be true, and they're going to get passed around as Bible. And because she had such a messy summer, it's going to really validate those things, whether they're real or not.
That's true.
And that sucks.
So don't send DMs to people. Just don't do that.
Do you think that Paige is going to make a statement?
I don't know. Do you think that's her MO to talk about stuff that doesn't have to do with her?
Well, I mean, if she hired the private investigator, I think this very much has to do with her.
Yeah, that's true.
She did make a vague statement, like through her cat page.
Well, someone wrote somewhere that cat page is run by a fan.
Okay.
So, yeah, it was confusing. But I don't know, because doesn't Paige sort of usually take the side of a woman? And obviously in this situation there's a woman against a woman kind of, but it's like, how could you put one down? I don't know.
People like to say that Paige like takes sides, but she doesn't. Like Paige famously has been in the middle of a friendship break. Like Hannah and Amanda were best friends, and Paige didn't choose a side. And it's like, I'm not saying she had to. I get that they were both her friends, but I just don't think that Paige has the backbone, the boundaries, or the hard lines that people like to give her credit for.
That's why I can see her not saying anything.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think any of the bed bugs do, honestly. Sorry, not to kick Sierra or Amanda while they're down, but I think they're very much selective in who they will stand up for. And I think they like to present, very tough, as if they are taking the lead. But unfortunately, what happens is they fall behind these men, and these men end up dragging them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's not a finger point. Been there, been dragged myself. It's just an observation from what I've seen.
Do I want them to come out and talk about the private investigator they hired? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. I've never listened to an episode of Giggly Squad, but if they brought Sierra on, I might.
Oh, okay.
I did see people saying that Rachel Lindsay should bring Sierra on her show, and I do think
that's a good idea.
A very solid move. People were like, call her daddy. Absolutely the fuck not.
No, thank you.
No.
Get out of
here.
She's
not even good at it.
No.
Like, let's not.
Yeah.
But,
that's totally going to happen, though. Alex Cooper's going to have one
Sierra
of them on.
Doesn't.
Yeah.
No, I think, well, she might. If she has Amanda on, people are going to come for Alex.
Okay, then let's
fine.
go.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, the other one thing I wanted to say is that fucking what's the name? Dumois was apparently in the comments fighting on Amanda's behalf because Amanda has lost some brand deals since this happened. Edie Parker posted Amanda's new launch with them about like titties and weed, which is right up my alley. And then the statement came out and those Edie Parker pictures went poof. Like they went away. And Demoy was like really, well, I can never, I say it different every time. It's fucking bitch. But anyway, she was really upset that Amanda was losing brand deals. She couldn't even spell losing correctly.
Yeah.
And she's like fighting for her life in the comments. And listen, do I love when people lose jobs? No, but these are the consequences of your actions. And brands have a right to align with people who they feel represent them and their values and their aesthetic. And if they don't feel like Amanda does that, then they have every right to get rid of her. Like, does that suck? Yes, but these are the things that fucking happen. I mean, and we were more than happy to see Scandoval lose deals. So, Sandoval.
Yeah. Why is Dumois defending Amanda? Did we know that
they're friends?
They are.
So
That's what I was wondering.
She's been caught lying for Amanda before.
Oh, about what?
She's been caught suppressing information about Kyle cheating. So like for months, people like would submit things about Kyle cheating and she just wouldn't post them because she's friends with Amanda. They're friends like through the grapevine, like I think like in the fashion community or whatever. And she just wouldn't post them or she would lie. She would delete them because Amanda would ask her to. So
cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why when this all started and it did give like publicity stunt. But then when she started affirming it, I was like, that's weird because they're friends.
That's weird. Yeah.
So she must really be feeling the pressure of like, fuck.
Yeah.
Gotta
that makes sense.
it. Yeah, because then it's like if it comes out and you didn't report it, you suck at your job. Like you're supposed to be the top one doing this. You know? So quite the pickle.
Yeah, interesting. Well,
did we get everything, you think? I mean, probably not, but you know.
Yeah, I think we did. I think it's just like...
Oh, I did have one more note about Kyle and Amanda because in the most recent episode, we see their relationship's over. Like their marriage is broken the fuck down.
Yeah.
But we see them both agree to therapy and they both say that they feel neglected and unheard. And just like everything else aside, it's like really sad to watch a married couple say that to each other because they're both experiencing the exact like same things. And Amanda says that Kyle feeling neglected like manifests as him treating her badly. And then her feeling neglected manifests as distance. And then they're just like at an impasse because Amanda doesn't want to get close to someone who's been treating her bad. You know, but Kyle doesn't feel compelled to be soft and kind to someone who doesn't want to be close to him.
Right.
And it's like they're just constantly like, I hate the cliche of like love languages, but they are just not on the same page. But like you said, the fact that she just doesn't care anymore. And unfortunately, I think that's the thing with women, you know, like women are usually done with their relationship long before they actually physically leave them. And that can be messy.
Do you think we should start leaving sooner?
I think that you should stop getting into them.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I was like, I don't find any man attractive. I don't understand how any of this is happening. Like even
Yeah.
you said when we were voting for West and Rob, I'm like, don't get it twisted. I don't want to have sex with either of these men. They both have like a childlike energy.
They do.
But yeah.
Yeah. I mean, on top of that, trying to get into a relationship with someone who's on reality TV, that's just not a good idea. That's not going to work out well for you. So I think it's interesting to see what'll happen with Amanda and West, and I feel sad for Amanda and the hate she's getting, just because it's like, I don't know. Why do people? Why do we have to like do the dirty work of Sierra? I don't know. You know?
Yeah, I mean, here we are talking about it on a podcast, right? But I would never message or any of these people. I would never comment directly on their stuff. Like if I was out at a bar tonight and I saw any of them, I would not approach them. Like, you know what I mean? Like people who do stuff like that is very interesting to me. But I mean, I feel sad for all of them. Like I truly feel sad for everybody involved because this type of shit, this is their life. Like this shakes up your life, you know? And at the end of the day, people are losing friendships. And once the hurt of the betrayal will settle, right? Like eventually it will. But the loss of the friendship remains because Amanda might have been one of the people that Sierra would turn to at a time like this. And now she's gone and vice versa.
Right.
So Amanda used to turn to Kyle for things like this. And it looks like she still is. And that's the thing that's kind of interesting about Kyle and Amanda too, is because I think at the core of their marriage is an actual friendship. And I think that's rare. But then on the flip side, it's like, is it a friendship? Because she's communicating, like they keep missing each other. Like she's been communicating her needs. He ignores them. And, you know, he tells her what he like.
Him talking to that man on the street is like, yeah, or he just knows what to say, you know, publicly so that he doesn't look like a fucking asshole. He's not drunk right now. He's in control of his faculties and he knows not to be like, fuck that bitch Amanda, you know? Because then now we have like empathy for him, you know?
And weird thing about men like Kyle who present kind of man-childy is that sometimes they need to be forced to kind of like take care of somebody to ever step into that role. So the fact that Amanda is like a puddle on the floor, it like gives Kyle someone to take care of. And I bet he is swooping in and being her protector, which, listen, their prerogative. Won't be shocked if they end up getting back together.
Yeah.
And rekindling. I don't think Sierra is going to talk to West or Amanda ever again. I mean, she's going to at the reunion. I hope she does because I want to know what she has to say.
Yeah.
So I do think moving forward for Summer House, it's going to be interesting. And like I said, for mess, for entertainment, I want Sierra and Wes both back in the house. For mental health, for what's good for them, I hope Sierra gets to go do something else. I mean, I don't want Wes to have Summer House. I'm not saying like I'd rather watch Wes. I'm just saying I think
like,
the show's going to
for
suck.
Sierra, it would suck for her to have to go.
I'd rather.
There.
Yes, for her as a person, I don't want that.
Who is the cast on the City show?
I think the only ones that were confirmed were Kyle, Lindsay, and Amanda.
Okay.
But Amanda and Kyle separately.
Yeah.
Not as a couple, yeah. But that's really all we got. Like all we got is just like a quick shot of them each individually. It's just like in the city.
Yeah, and we know who their friends are. Their friends are going to be on it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
Oh, and we forgot the crossover with something else we hate, which is Brianna Chicken Fry allegedly told Dave Portnoy at the Super Bowl that Amanda and Wes were a couple. So when this all exploded, Dave Portnoy was like, what's the big deal? Chicken Fry told me at Super Bowl. And then he was like, oops. Didn't even know that this was going to be scandalous. And then he was like, oops, men never do anything wrong. If anyone's to blame, it's Amanda. What a awful, evil snake. Like, shut the fuck up, Dave.
Now, wait.
Shut the fuck up. And Brianna, you shut the fuck up, too. Why are you telling people secrets?
Do you think that that's true, that Brianna Chicken Fry knew that it was happening and they, like, let her know?
Maybe.
Or
here's the fucked up thing, though. I promise you, and I hope I can find it, between Super Bowl and now, I have seen a picture of Brianna and Sierra together. So if Brianna fucking knew, she's been hanging out with Sierra too. Okay? And put it on the fucking books right now. I was already going through her Reddit, the snark page, Brianna snark page of the day, trying to find this fucking picture because I know it exists. I saw it because I was pissed because Brianna Chicken Fry has been talking about filming a pilot for Bravo, which I don't understand how that could ever be a thing. But she's also been hanging out with West, Amanda, and Sierra a lot, which West, Amanda, and Sierra have been spotted, the three of them, in the past month. It's so crazy when you think about it that way.
Yeah.
Especially if West really was sleeping with both of them. And I also want to know, because there is a world where Sierra was sleeping with West and not telling Amanda.
Yes.
And Amanda was sleeping with West and not telling Sierra. Like, there's a world where West was getting both. And I want to know if that world exists.
And he's such a mediocre man. And that's all I have to say about him.
Short and stumpy. Like, short tort man.
Yeah. Well, that's all I have.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we did it.
Watch this space, guys. We'll come back to update you and talk about some other shit that we hate next time on Haters.
Well, yeah, we still have to hate. We were planning on hating on Corey and Topanga.
Yeah.
The romance that ruined all of us. And there's plenty to hate on there.
I really need to get a Disney Plus subscription or find the episodes on YouTube. That's all I got to say about that.
I just added mine, so you can try to log into mine as long as it doesn't be annoying with you.
Hell yeah. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Okay. Bye, guys. Thank you.